knew so little then. It is a land of magic and wonder, worth cherishing in every way.
Hello guys, this is Vix Universe here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to review Wonder Woman. It's a movie that came out in 2013 and is directed by Patty Jenkins. This movie was a great beginning for the Wonder Woman character in the DC cinematic universe. Wonder Woman has always been a character that has always fought for the soul of man in the comics, and I feel that this movie captured that spirit, the Wonder Woman spirit, and I'm very glad that the director was able to pull this off, and I'm very excited in the future movie, The Wonder Woman 1984. I expect great things from Patty Jenkins, and hopefully she'll remain on the project as it goes forward. There are many things that I like about this movie. First, I'm going to start off with the Wonder Woman's accent. I feel that it was perfect for her role, and ever since I watched the movie, I've been reading the Wonder Woman comics in Gal Gadot's voice, and I've been it has been a very nice experience. And I also wanted to talk about Wonder Woman's fashion sense. We saw a glimpse of that when the movie began, and her fashion sense has always been a big theme in the comics, and I'm very excited on what they're going to do with Wonder Woman projects in the future when it comes to what she wore, what she wears in her everyday life, and I feel that it's going to play a big role, especially for the female fans. And I'm not female, but I also love how she dresses, so yeah, looking forward to that. I also loved how the mascara was captured, how beautiful it was. It felt surreal. It felt cut off from the world. It felt like paradise where you see these female warriors that are living there and they are cut off from the world, and it's a paradise and they have their own ways of governance, and practically immortal if I'm remembering my comic history well. They that world, it's cut off from death somehow, and the Amazonians don't die. I also felt that the Wonder Woman armor and shield were comic book accurate. When I recently read the Wonder Woman Rebirth comics, I noticed that the shield and the sword and the armor, they are perfect replicas of what I saw in the Wonder Woman movie, and I'm very happy because of that. I also loved the Amazonian fight scene where the Diana was training, and we see how she first unleashed her power, and all the Amazonians are surprised. And I think her questioning about who she is, began at that point, or even early. I'm not sure, but I think that's when the questioning began. She felt that she did not belong with the Amazons, and she wanted answers. And when Steve Trevor crashes in the island, it brings about an opportunity for Diana to go about her mission as she tries to find herself. We come to know in the beginning of the movie, up to about 30 minutes in, that Diana has a certain mindset when it comes to man, and that she is missing a lot of information about who man really is. All she has is the children's stories she got told long time ago. And this movie is about her shedding off her skin, off her naivety, until the end she realizes that every man has a choice to either be good or to be bad, that we hold both in our hearts. And this is a big part of Wonder Woman's story, the struggle between good and evil, of the villains that she encounters and will encounter in the future. I also loved how beautiful the cinematography was in this movie. It felt unique, and it felt a Wonder Woman comic book, which is very important when it comes to comic book movies. And I felt that Patty Jenkins was able to capture that. I also loved some of the quotes that Diana said. especially the quote for which she told her mother when she was about to leave, where she said that, "Who would I be if I stayed?" And I feel that statement captures her independence and her wanting to go out and be able to learn about herself. And that statement, I think a lot of us, we do not per se say it, but we feel that statement when we leave our parents' home and try to find a life for ourselves and try to interact with the world, trying to figure out who we are, what our purpose is. And I resonated with that aspect of the Wonder Woman movie. Finding one's purpose sometimes takes a lifetime, and for those who find it early, they are very lucky. I also loved the idea that in this movie the villain was not really Ares or that General Ludendorff, but it was the villain was an idea, the idea of who man is. And I felt that they really did good with that. Sometimes you get, when you watch superhero movies, you get tired of heroes just beating on the bad guy. I feel like ideological fights are more beneficial to superhero movies, such as the Dark Knight trilogy. It's all about an ideological fight, starting from the first movie up to the last one. And I feel that Wonder Woman was also an ideological movie where she has to fight the idea and also learn of who man is and what he's capable of and find her grounding in what she will stand for. And part of this is portrayed in some of the quotes that Steve Trevor said, especially at the end, where he says that there is no one bad guy to blame, that he may also be one to blame. And also Wonder Woman tells Ares while she is fighting him that they are as you say, but there's so much more. Here it shows that she has come on her own, she has realized who man is, she has realized who she is, and she has realized what she's going to stand for from that point forward. I also loved Steve Trevor's team. Steve Trevor and his team is a big part of Wonder Woman comics. Her relationship with him, they were good at the duo, starting from the beginning when they met up to the last scenes with Steve Trevor. They worked well together, and it's a big part of it's a big relationship in the comics, and I hope it will continue in Wonder Woman 1984 and the other movies. I also loved the Steve Trevor's team, Sammy, the Irish marksman's chief. Although I'm not sure if we'll be seeing them in the future, but I enjoyed, especially Sammy, enjoyed how he was as a person. He's one of those people that if you get as a friend, you're very lucky. And I felt I wanted them to be in the other movies, but sadly, this Wonder Woman's beginning and it's early on, so they are probably dead or very old, so they won't be joining her. But I hope in the future, in her other projects, we'll be able to see a similar team with their own personalities that the director could play with and they could be fun for the audience. I also liked the fact that Ares was not the obvious enemy that we expected as the audience. When the movies first began, I expected the villains to be General Ludendorff and the Poison Dr. Poison, and I expected Ares to be General Ludendorff, but then you come to figure out later that Ares is actually in the side of the British and he's claiming peace, but while he's working in the shadows, trying to disrupt things in the background. And I liked how they played with that. They didn't make Ludendorff Ares, who is bulky enough to be seen like Ares and is cruel enough you'd think he's the god of war, only to find out later it's this skinny guy that he is the god of war. I like that a lot. There's absolutely nothing that I hated about this movie, so I won't have any criticism about it. And so I'll rate it a solid 8.8 out of 10. And I'm very hopeful of the future of the Wonder Woman character in the DC cinematic universe. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time. You can support me on Patreon, and you can also follow me on Twitter and also on my WordPress website. And The links are in the description below.